A certain number of learners are sitting for examinations in mathematics, tourism, and geography. All these learners sit for at least one of these examinations. So guys, I already know we're going to be drawing a Venn diagram here because we are talking about subjects, types of sports, and all those types of music you listen to. You'll end up just drawing a Venn diagram. So I'll use M for mathematics, T for tourism, and G for geography. Right, and then we need to draw our rectangle across. Right, and then we are told that all these learners sit for at least one of these examinations, which means they are just telling us that the outside is 0 because all the learners are writing. Okay, perfect. Then let's keep on reading. The total number of learners who sit for mathematics is 22. So I'll just put 22 here to show that the total circle for mathematics, which means this entire red part here must be 22, which means this part, that part, that part, and that part must add up 22. Okay, and then we are also told that the total for T is 16 and the total for G is 18. Okay, they say here is 16. All the learners who sits for tourism is 16, and all learners who sits for geography it's 18, which means this whole entire circle, when I add this, that, and that, I must get 18. And also for this one of tourism, when I add this, that, and that, I must get 16. Okay, perfect. And then we are further told that 5 learners sit for mathematics and tourism, but not geography. Mathematics and tourism, but not geography, will be this portion here. You see, where just mathematics and tourism meet, but not geography. So here we're going to have how many? They said 5. And then we are also told that 4 learners sit for M and G, but not T. M and G, but not T. I'm sure you put it correctly. Is there? It's 4. Ne? And then let's go on. 3 learners sit for T and G, but not M. T and G, but not M will be here, which is 3. And then 6 learners sit for only tourism. Tourism only will be this portion here, which is 6. All right. Now let's try to fill in this based on this given information. Remember, we need a box here to show the total amount of learners who are there. But firstly, I know that the total for this circle here must be 16, because I was told that the total for tourism is 16, which means I have 3 plus this is 9. 9 plus this is 14, which means here it must be 2, so that the total is 16. I know that the total for this circle must be 22. And here I have 11, which means I must get another 11 here, so that the total circle for mathematics is 22. And I need the total for G to be 18. So far I have 9. So far I have 9 in this circle. This just add up to 9, which means this part here must be 9, so that I can have 18. And now we add each and every digit together. So 0 plus 9 plus 3 plus 2 plus 4 plus 5 plus 11 plus 6 to get the total number of learners who were there. And that gives us 40, ladies and gentlemen. You must always show the total there. All right. And that is the answer for 11.1.1. 11.2, they want us to calculate the probability that a learner, okay, let me write it down. 11.2, they want us to determine the probability that a learner sits for examination in at least What does at least 2 mean? At least 2 means 2 or more. Ne? So which means this, that. They are either writing 2 or 3. They said at least 2. Ne? If they said at most 2, it would mean 2 or less. So it will be this, that, which means 2 or less. But they said at least. So at least we're taking 4 plus 2 plus 3 plus 5. And we divide that by 40. Because these ones are writing maths and geo only. These ones are writing all the 3. This one are writing tourism and geo. This one are writing maths and tourism. So we need all of them. They are writing at least 2. And then we always divide by 40 when we do probabilities, ladies and gentlemen. Not always by 40, I mean always by the total. In this case, the total is 40. And this sums to 7 over 20. You can leave it like that. You get your 2 points. Some people prefer to write it in percentage. So that is 35%, which is also fine. But I just advise you to not cause extra work. Just leave it like that as a fraction. The memo always write it as a fraction, so it's best to leave it like that. Ne? Then they say determine if the events sitting for mathematics and sitting for tourism are independent. If mathematics and tourism are independent, so I'll say if independent, then this formula must hold. Probability of maths and tourism must be the same as probability of maths multiplied by probability of tourism. All right. Let's find P, M, and T. M and T is going to be where the maths and the tourism meet. So these two circles meet there. You see? They meet there, the maths and the tourism circle. So which means we have 7 over 40 for M and T, which is 0.175. Now we did the left hand side of the independent equation. We need to do the right hand side. Ne? We need to do P, M. Let's show that this one was left hand side. Ne? Left hand side. Now we're doing the right hand side. If these two things are equal, then we can include independence. But if they are not equal, then we cannot say they are independent. We are going to say they are not independent. Ne? Perfect. So we're going to have PM multiplied by PT. PM is just the whole entire circle of M, which is 22 over the total, multiplied by PT, which is just the whole entire circle of T, which is 16 over 40. Right, you always divide by the total sample space. Ne? And that gives us 0.22. Therefore, we can see that left-hand side is not equals to the right-hand side. Therefore, not independent. They are independent only and only if the left-hand side is equals to the right-hand side. And that's how you tackle Venn diagrams, probabilities, and independence like a champ. Keep practicing. Where maths becomes your bestie is by say guru, like, subscribe, and remember, maths never sleeps.